Hey everyone, welcome to the West Coast Barbell Club Exercise Library. Right now we're going to have a quick look at some deficit deadlifts, okay? Now I really like deficit deadlifts, I've used them a ton in peaking cycles previously. I like how they carry over to my main deadlift variation, okay? And if you see them in your program, they may just be noted as deficit deadlifts, depending on the equipment you have available to create that deficit, or there might be a specific height dictated for the depth of the deficit, okay? Now ideally, your gym will have access provide you with access to some floor tile, okay, that you can use to build up in 1 centimeter increments. Most floor tiles that I've worked with in the past in my gym are all 1 centimeter thick, okay? So you could lay 3 tiles down to have a 3 centimeter deficit deadlift, 5 tiles down to have a 5 centimeter deficit deadlift, and so on, okay? We're at my home gym here videoing this now, so I've got a couple of 5 kilo bumper plates that I'm going to use as a deficit for the demo we're doing here. Using some bumper plates or some plates can work. I do find, albeit I'm a little bit tall, I do find that they force me to bring my stance in a little bit more than I'd like, okay? So I generally prefer to do them on a stack of floor tiles, but this is perfectly workable and probably perfectly workable for most of the people I work with who haven't said that they found this to bring their stance in a ton. So we're going to quickly go through how we do our deficit deadlifts. Okay, so everything else remains the same, bar setup and training area. All that's changing is we're placing a surface underneath our feet to elevate us relative to the bar, as opposed to a block pull or rack pull, where the bar will be elevated relative to us, okay, as compared to a normal deadlift. Okay, so right here now, I've got a couple of 5 kilo bumper plates under here that I'll be standing on, and I'll otherwise be performing my deadlifts exactly the same as I normally would. Okay, so elevated surface, forcing me to get a little deeper in my setup. Now, I quite like these because I, at the time of filming this, feel like my weak point in the deadlift is normally off the floor or just off the floor. And a deficit deadlift can help us build strength through a slightly longer range of motion than we're accustomed to, forcing us to work a bit harder off the floor for the given weight that we're working with. Okay, so personally I really like these. There's not many people I work with where I don't feel like they stand to benefit from doing some deficit deadlifting. I'd say I'd probably include them at some point or another in pretty much everyone's programs at some point in a training cycle. So I do really like them and hope that you'll enjoy doing them too. Like I say, we don't want to do these from a particularly high position. It's very rare that I program anything more than a 5 centimeter deficit or a 2-inch deficit for those thinking in imperial. The reason being that it might change the joint angle so much that we'll actually start getting in a kind of bad setup for the deadlift where our knees are too far forward and we're forcing ourselves to turn it almost into a squat movement pattern, which isn't necessarily going to carry over as well to a conventional deadlift from the floor. Okay, so there's your deficit deadlifts. If you see them in your program and you have any more questions on them off the back of watching that, please feel free to ask and I'll be happy to help. Okay.